following material may contain sex, coarse language, and violence.
Of course! Of course!
I believe early training is best, but they could potentially just skip out on it, and it really probably wouldn't affect them at all.
But it could, right?
It's a possibility.
But the bit that weirded us out is perhaps the Alliance was already aware of this and not telling us.
Perhaps.
That would make sense from the way they kept on sending those doctors every few months.
I mean, I was always under the impression they were just because we were the first generation of colonists on a new world. We don't have any wacky new tropical worldical diseases.
It is prudent when exposing a species to a new environment. You make regular checks. You don't know what kind of impact it would have. But it would appear in this case there were two motives.
Yeah, it just seems that there were notes being written down, and the version of their medical records you were getting were differed.
Well, I noticed some of the other families were only getting tested every 6 months instead of every 3.
Yeah, it's just I wanted you to be like the boys might be really excited at the prospect of going away, but you.
Wait, going away? I don't want to go away, but I want superpowers.
Dialek, could we borrow you to this table for a little bit?
Oh, yep.
Of course.
Yeah.
Come across.
Major.
I don't know whether you'd heard or not, but we're not my brothers. They may be biotic, but we don't actually know what life is like for biotics, and I don't think even our military knows.
Well, obviously, for us it's natural. We don't need an amp. The amp helps us. For the other races, they need an amp and training. Like early training's best because you form habits. Is the biggest thing. It's like we do things naturally, and that's easier training. I mean, that's the problem that God, I can't think of his name right now. He's right there, Atul. That's the problem that Atul's having at the moment. He's older, and then he's trying to unlearn things that he's already learned. Are you sure?
The results of Zalo's medical tests and some notation on their records.
I've already highlighted what Zados said was the important.
Which I haven't really gone into the full extent of, but we wanted to make sure Mom was apace with developments. Yeah.
I don't know how your government's going to handle it. I mean,
nobody does. Nobody can know. Humans aren't biotic.
Okay, I'm going to go over because I had a feeling this is from a news story way back in season 1. So there have been some early biotic stuff, but it's still really early stages. I'm just going to read it out again because it basically goes over what humans know of what we know about humans and biotics so far. Humans are continuing to make headway in joining other species as viable biotics. The first experimental L1 biotic implants were used in humans just over a week ago, and tests seem to be going well according to the scientists involved. Dr. Benjamin Hoyt had this to say. No major side effects beyond the odd headache and bleeding nose yet, but we're starting off small. Baby steps and all that. We're nowhere near the level of Asari, but with time, patience, and understanding, who knows? Future strong human biotics may be more inevitable than Dr. Hoyt realizes, though. As just yesterday, Starship drive failure over the populated colony of New Darwin caused widespread exposures to element 0. This mimics similar circumstances to when humans first discovered both dangers and potential benefits of exposure to element 0 just over 12 years ago when an accident at Singapore International Spaceport on Earth exposed hundreds of humans to dust form element 0.
That was an actual accident, I believe.
Yeah.
Well, roughly 30% of the children born in Singapore after element 0 exposure suffered from cancerous growths. Others showed biotic potential. 5 years later, human children on Terra Nova were exposed to some element 0 also, which resulted in humanity's first telekinetics. The question most raised by humans on the subject is the risk worth the potential benefits?
Well, I clearly don't remember that, because otherwise we would already know that humans have already had biotics.
Well, not on the field, but the early stages, I suppose,
Well, they've tested out an amp, so...
I mean, I've tried red sand and fiddled with it, so it's more fun than I want to admit. But, I mean, who knows what the boys might choose to do in terms of service when they're old enough to choose.
We're not old enough to choose?
No.
They want superpowers.
I mean, can you say anything like don't do anything reckless or don't do what I wouldn't do or like a handout or my first primer guide?
Have you seen what I do?
I assume, like everyone else, you started at a low level and worked up.
Then your mother pipes up and she looks at Chell and says, Miss Diavo, be honest with me. I don't want my boys taken away. What would be the thing that would be safest for them?
I honestly don't know. Without... The thing is, you can't use your biotics without an amp. The worst case scenario is the boys later down the track get their own amps through their own means, and untested amps are the most dangerous things you can have.
And without training.
And without the training to use those amps, you can hurt yourself and others quite badly. I mean, if you create a gravity well within something or on something, in a spaceship, on a dock, in a refinery.
Well, I mean, I also know not all Asari take to their training very well.
It is also possible to surgically remove the ability to use biotics, so that could be an option.
I mean, there's still time, things can come along, and we do have family we can talk to about it.
Of course.
Like, I haven't looked into too many other races on how well theirs go. I mean, have you actually looked up to see if there has been any other cases?
Literally found out yesterday, and then we went drinking.
While they're talking, I'll contact Trish and ask her to do that. I just backdoored my way into the article, baby.
Yes, Logang.
Trish, check the extranet archives for any incidents, previous mentions or incidents of humans and biotics. I don't really think she's going to turn up anyway.
I think anyone.
She brings up that type of news article and just I read off.
Oh. I'll play that back. I
I
actually have this.
Huh. I thought that was all hocus pocus and bullshit. Like, you know, military propaganda. Oh, soon we humans will have our own biotics too.
It would seem there's evidence that suggests that this might not be complete hokum. Also,
Yeah.
this is a CNN report, and while they do lie, a Citadel News Network, not
Ah,
other one.
I like to think the other one doesn't exist anymore because massive corruption got it removed.
I mean, I'm a big believer in
it was
freedom
shot
of
into the
speech.
sun like we were Star Trek.
Hey, that was lawyers. Canonically in Star Trek, lawyers were rounded up and shot into the sun.
That was part of what made us a utopia.
I believe it was right after the eugenics wars.
Yep.
Yep. Oh god, yeah.
So, that.
Well, who wouldn't want telekinesis and superpowers?
Hey, they're lucky they weren't the 30% who got cancer.
It's possible that maybe someone could look into the risk posed by these humans who are in testing, but I, being a Turian, would obviously not have the necessary access to do that.
There should be a few.
He said, looking right at those two who've just been sitting there going, hey, I'm cool and black and I'm a cripple.
They both have
Pat me on the head and feed me a cookie.
Handy capable.
I'm going to call her Iron Mouse from now on. Or Tungsten Rat.
They just look shiftless.
Shiftless?
Yeah.
Like kind of wastrels and useless? Or shifty? Yeah, maybe that kind of information.
I know what you're talking about, but I'm not going to elaborate. I'm not going to say anything. But
You do have time, after all.
I'll do what's ever best for them.
Well, so will I, of course. Even though,
You see, this gives us an out. They might be able to turn up something which would be not metagaming, where we could go, oh, it turns out that this is highly bad and people are dying a lot. Yeah, we hide this. But if they don't, then like, my hands are kind of tied. Like, I don't want to throw your NPCs into the wood chipper, but I can't think of a way to not do that.
Yeah.
That won't get me the side eye for basically going like, I know things. I mean, I built a character based around if I know a thing, I can use it, but
Well, that's the thing. When did L2s get released?
not yet.
Because Kaiden wasn't.
Kaiden
Kaiden
was
was
an
L2.
L2, and he finished his training a couple years before he was on the Normandy.
Yeah.
So we're 20 years out.
They'd be better off than the L2s because the L2s had worse, I believe, time of it than
the L1s were the ones that wound up like the cultists on those.
Yeah.
marines
Well,
and
a
stuff.
lot of them also, like, they were barely biotic enough to do anything.
Yeah, and yet still got the debilitating.
I remember
Yes.
shooting a bunch of L1s.
But it was the L2s that had my brain explodes.
Yeah.
And
Well, the L2Ms spike way higher and have more power potential,
Well,
but
what did Biotic Shepherd have? Would they get
he's
the
an
fours?
L3.
there's now 3, yeah.
Probably a 4 by the time he got rebuilt by the unlimited power of Cerberus to bring the dead back to life.
L4.
It was kind.
5.
Oh, it was a 5.
No.
Yeah, it was kind of faggotry that at least Kaiden
awesome.
got bonus power for all of the.
I believe Kaiden paid for his greater potential power with nosebleeds and headaches.
Yeah.
If he
Yeah,
used
well,
it
that's
too much.
constantly
Because
on
that's what
meds.
he said. He was just like, most other L2s had it really bad. I just get headaches, basically. Like,
And it's like he also has an option to go to L3 like Shepard, but he's like, no, I prefer the L2s. They spike higher.
yeah, he's like, I'll put up with the headaches for
Because
the better.
more oomph.
Yeah.
Although, strictly speaking, if you had a biotic shepherd, he did not have more oomph than you. But in kayfabe, yes, he did.
Yeah.
Jump Zero. There, I said it.
Okay, and if you boys better have picked out what you want to eat instead of just fantasizing over there.
They want to drink Fanta, the Nazi soda. It's true. It's invented for the Reich. Not necessarily by Nazis, but during the Reich. It's delicious.
It is.
It's
Just like the Germans.
Germans are delicious.
Germans.
Man, the Nazis had the best fashion sense, the best soda.
You go, boss, man. They make a great soda.
I was watching a video and it had 3 people sort of leaning in frame into the thing, and it's like word in English, word in Spanish, word in German at the bottom, and it was all like happy. Schmitterlung!
That's a butterfly.
Yeah, I know, but it was just like peaceful, happy word.
That's because in order to speak German appropriately, you just have to yell and sound angry. That's how you get it to sound really good. We all right, Ken?
I was just looking up because I am curious when the L2s came in. 2167.
That's not yet. We're still in 2163.
Yeah.
Because the boys will be just about ready for the L2 plants.
They would be
God,
16.
if we can just put it off
Till they can.
for a couple years, then they'll get Commander Vernus, who will torment them and cause them to go nuts and let their brains explode. They might be better off in L1.
They're probably
Yeah,
better
that's
off
what
in
I'm
L1
saying,
actually.
Alright, Logain's official position is, like, you might as well just do the training. If the Alliance is going to pay for it,
Yeah.
then they'll get a regular education, a biotic education, and then even if they can't do anything with it, oopsie poopsie.
They won't just pay for it, they'll compensate your mother and stepfather.
Well, it's a complication of the accident yet again.
Yeah.
The colony's just got a high-rise building.
Yeah, what's your colony's name again?
We never.
New Miramar.
Yeah, the Miramar Khalifa.
And 2 new tractors.
You know, we've still got some tractor tires left over in the warehouse.
You know, we could afford that.
They're not moving.
We could afford that, and
But we're not allowed to buy direct from you.
I am.
Oh, okay.
You know, we had to spend. We had.
I'd like to buy a tractor tire, please. Is this for you? Yeah.
Look, I like tire swings, and have you seen the size of it?
Look, we have to buy an entire herd of cattle and that one suspicious cow.
Well, look. I've made it clear that I'm on the cow's side against the clowns.
No.
I've made it clear that I am down with the clown 110%.
So it's fixed now, is it?
Everybody. So everybody order your food. I'm taking coffee and an omelet.
Don't ask where the eggs come from.
Fine, I won't.
I really wanted to.
Flip to Zalo.
The one person who
Cheers.
isn't at the super important meeting.
Yeah.
What is it with you in splitting the party?
Why is there a picture of my butt on the battle net?
I mean, if
That
you
is
put
a
that there,
very
it will be
good
there.
question.
But which. Why am I asking? It was Rosa.
It says updated by Rosa, right at the top.
Yeah, so we know we know who's treating the BattleNet like Twitter, or in this case, Instantgram. That's the other thing with the Pictions. The Instantgram, the Facebook.
See, it would just be getting shit ready to.
Visage
whatnot.
Tome. That's what I'm calling it in D&D.
Visage Tome.
So there's a version of social media in D&D.
It's a spell. It's bad.
Of course it is. It's social media.
Have you seen Harry Potter? Twitter.
Oh, God. Okay, so you're basically just getting the ship ready for launch.
Yeah.
You will get, of course, the good morning.
Morning, Trish. Get you ready to take off?
Of course. I've already run several diagnostics.
Well, you could send me the data from that. Oh,
Of course. But everything is operating perfectly.
I believe you. It's more for my learning.
Of course. Sending now.
That bit where it says that the blue box is operating at peak efficiency,
Oh.
you should ignore that. What it actually means is a chicken in every pot.
What?
Oh,
Nothing. Get back to your turnips.
sorry. A chicken in every pot would actually predate your existence.
Yes, yes, it would.
God, it would too.
Oh, God!
I'm old.
No, you're not.
You know, back when
Yeah,
chicken was
everybody
chicken.
else
and
here is
not-
old too, except you.
See that? I'm old too. I've ranked up old to the second level.
I'm at the sequel.
Now I have to go do my level quest to get access to Old Throw.
You're old too, Electric Boogaloo.
Which reminds me, I need to buy more ammunition for the Boogaloo. I mean, nothing.
Sus.
It's a bugle you used to fire out those Harpic air freshener.
Yeah, that! Whew, good save. Now they will never know of my plans to overthrow the government. Yeah, it's
Never.
exactly what it sounds like.
Oh, Tess. Would you be able to run a check on the other ship for my parents?
Sure.
Just make sure they get out of here okay.
Okay, wait, you'll have to give me the, access.
Oh, of course.
Thank you.
No, they're in good hands.
Do you think we should employ two-factor authentication on the Sentinel?
No.
Your code is 21837.
Trish, 21837.
Yes, Logan, you can come inside.
Yes, thank you, Amazon,
No.
for letting me give you money. Thank you so
wait.
much.
As you approach the entrance, a holographic display comes up and says, "Please pick all the pictures with traffic codes in them."
Fuck you, that one has a
Then
code
I
in
finally
it.
get inside, another picture comes up and say, "This ship uses cookies. Read our cookie policy or accept." And then I go, "Add block and add on this per ship." That. Tick, 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 tick. There we go. Fuck your cookies.
And then Tessa's like, "But I wanted the cookies."
No, these were poison.
Oh,
We'll get you a cake later.
yay!
Alright.
You're as
You
bad
want a
as the
little
rest
ball
of them.
running around the ducts. Oh god.
That's the stretch. She can't go back to the ducts if she can't fit in the ducts.
We have a spare room in our apartment. It's hermetically sealed, but it's a spare room.
The thing is, I just realised what Tess is.
Oh,
She's the imposter.
Tessa's the imposter.
She
I set you, she vents.
Yeah.
It's not
I've
kids at
worked it
all.
out with the Logade finds imposter with this 9,600 IQ strat.
Tess, she's
I
always
saw her
the
vent.
No, I didn't.
I'm
I'm
an
an
engineer.
electrical.
We're not using that mod. Fuck!
Oh well, back at the tables, I guess.
So I just fucked you out of what you were going to do.
I wasn't going to do very
No,
much.
you literally
I'm
want
waiting
to
for us
just
to
arrive
take
and just
off.
do ship maintenance stuff.
Ship won't stay shiny itself.
I was going to remind you of the box in compensation, but okay. It's filled with evil and bad.
That's
You're gonna
what I
hate it.
Never
want it to
open
be
the
filled
box.
with.
You're gonna hate it.
Does anybody have any major discussion points they want to make?
I think my character has exhausted everything I could possibly say that isn't a
General-
pop culture reference,
Or general conversation, yeah.
which I feel we've had.
Yeah, that's what I'm like.
Eating, hugs, goodbyes.
Okay. When Opal hugs you, she'll whisper in your ear, "See what I can get off the Alliance Network."
Thank you.
You'd have to make a listening check to actually hear.
Oh, like it doesn't get a hug.
Or are you saying that you're listening in on
Yeah.
Rose's thing?
Why
so-
not? Fuck it.
Yeah.
And then Kay leans and hugs you too, and he just goes, "Me too."
Group chat hug.
Yeah. Join the hug. All the cool kids are doing it.
After you.
I should go.
Yeah, so your big hugs, picking up her brother, making sure to do the incredible happy families thing in front of Tiala and Co.
Meanwhile, I've taken Tiala's seat over with her group. I'll just fade in.
There you go. Oh. Hello, Commander Centurius, is Tiala's mother.
Captain. Or is it still Captain?
I'm first officer now.
My apologies.
That's alright. I prefer that than running the ship at this stage of my career anyway. Less stress.
Wait, executive officer has less stress than the decision.
Really? Hold on. Low gain.
Yes, Major.
Low gain.
Yes.
Less stress.
Yeah.
Well, to be fair, dear, he probably runs it more like a Turian ship.
Yes, he does.
Yes, he does.
Make sure she works and earns everything.
I will. Your mother said I have to make sure you work extra hard.
Don't I get you the money for the ships? Actually, that does remind me, when we get back, I'll get them to start looking.
Oh, is it that time already?
Well, we can start looking at least.
I thought we had an expensive lab to buy. Oh, Zardoz, you pardon. Well, that's okay. I'm currently practically penniless, so...
Wait, you're penniless? Didn't you guys get some kind of compensation from...
Actually, we never got paid for that. No.
Oh. Wait, but I'm sure I organised a payment for getting back at town.
Oh, that? Yeah, we did.
Oh.
Well, you were talking about the assassination thing.
assassination thing?
The biodegradable, at the biodegradable.
Oh, of course.
Not that. That's top secret.
Which is
My
why it's
girl.
all over CNN.
No, I was talking about the assassination. I mean, the other things.
It's okay, dear. You be vague. Oh, well, I suppose I should get hold of Lysiana and Thalea and get them to say goodbye before they
Yes,
get off as
that'd be
well.
good. And I'll have to round up everyone else. Have you told your girlfriend and her sister that we're off?
Rosa?
They were. I notified them that we were leaving before we came here and did the pickup.
We'll shoot back to the hotel, pick up all the stuff, and then we'll leave from there.
Well, I'll leave you with your family and you with your family, and I need to go and check on the various other attendees to make sure none of them want to ride back to the Citadel on the best ship parked at Thessia right now.
Have you asked your ex-wife if she wants to come with us?
My what? Oh, yes, of course. That thing that is the absolute truth. I'll check.
Whatever happened to Gasalis?